This was a most unpredictable shop day. We originally started out thinking we'd have a little bit of snow when we woke up. It turns out we had a lot of snow. And so Joe's job had to go on the back burner. We can't do any painting today, even though we do have his paint in stock. The snow, well, I tried to figure some things I could do down in the cellar that I didn't have to be outside. I wanted to mix this custom paint to match the Suzuki decal, and I got the Colorite paint from Joe. Dallas shared a really good tip that I didn't know about the discs on the GS, and that's a useful tip. And the snow took over the day before lunchtime even. This is how the day played out. But every day's unpredictable. It's not Groundhog Day, it's Snowman Day. Well, today is like a day in reverse because we got our parts inside to work on today, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to have 2 feet of snow, and it is really snowing out there. It snowed overnight. I have to go evaluate what we're going to do in terms of the snow. But nice to know that the parts are in. The wheel is drying under a heating vent. I wish I was drying under a heating vent. And we're going to just see how this day plays out. You never know. It's always a surprise. No, actually, when I touch the wheel, it's actually warm from being under that heating vent. But now that it's on the second day of drying, that, if we do get time to sand that, that'll sand like butter. We obviously have the red paint. That's ready to go. Ready, yeah, maybe a week from now. This has a lot of little details that I want to take care of. Things I can do. These are things I can do. I have to mix up that red paint that Joe provided. And I've got my disc. Now, I didn't know. Dallas told me in an email you can swap the front disc for the back disc. Well, I don't know. When we rejuvenate this, we'll figure out which one we want to use. We have several extra discs. And thank you, Luciano, for the donation of the muffler. And I've got the big thing. I got that place I want to try ordering the bolts from. I took out a spare bolt. I need to check the length and make sure I order enough for the discs. And so we got, and plus mixing up the red paint today. I want to mix up the paint for that matches that for the stripe on the wheel. I think we're going to have a busy day. But of course, nothing better than, ooh, Karen already hit the coffee button. It's a winter wonderland out there. We're going to have a very eclectic day. So we start with a video of Buddy out in the snow.
Look at the snow.
Oh my God, he's having fun. This is his first real snow, right?
He had a little one last week, a dusting.
So we have a really good system here in this town. And our good friend next door, Jason, has a snowblower. He has already done our sidewalk, and he goes all the way up to the corner. As soon as I get my snowblower out, I usually help some of the people on the block that don't have a snowblower. Hey, Jace! He's out there freezing. Good man. But anyway, I see somebody's already been up on our porch this morning. I don't know. Maybe they tried to rob the house. But it's a winter wonderland. And my plan is always, there's no point doing a lot of shoveling until we know what time the snow is going to end. It's supposed to be a whole nother day, but we're going to find out. Oh, I know Ray down there in Florida is probably thinking, man, am I glad I moved to Florida. Ray, I'm not so sure I disagree with you. We do love the snow. The puppy's out in the snow. We already got a video. This is a great time of year. And we will get a couple hours of working on motorcycles today, but first thing we got to get some of this snow plowed. And I usually check in with Dave Midgley, who always has a lot more snow than I have. Oh yeah, it's going to be a very eclectic day. It's funny, it looks like the painting table that I was anticipating maybe using today in my dreams. No, there'll be no painting today. There are some seriously happy birds up there. Oh my God. Wendy put out extra seeds for us today. I'm playing the snow card. Look at these guys. They are so happy when it snows. I feed them extra. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through some of my spare paints. And needless to say, I know people criticize this, that it doesn't really look like a body shop. But a lot of stuff gets painted here, guys. Trust me. Those are the extra paint from some of the jobs I've restored. But anyway, we need to find some yellow and some red because I want to get an exact match to that color that the Suzuki gas tank decals are. And that's what's going to be the red stripe. I'll call it red. It's really orangey red. Now I really don't need that much paint, but the plan is I'm going to paint the red, let it dry overnight, and then back mask with the 1/8 inch tape, and then paint the wheel black, and then peel off that one piece of 1/8 inch tape. A lot easier than back masking the whole wheel and then just spraying that. Done that enough times, learned a lesson. Always paint the stripe first. It's good information. Now it really is funny that I do have, and I have most of them, you can see I always mark on them what bike they match, and the Benelli and the Kawasaki and Tim's RD and Ray's Honda. Boy, we got something, Wes Cooley's bike. But from this, I think we'll be able to get a good match. Now the plan is, once I think I've got it close, and I'm not going to do it today, but before I actually do it, I'll have Karen come out to the garage and check that she's happy, and she's a trained artist. So because this is not something I'm real good at, I always rely on Karen to oversee the job. But this is a good way to start. Anyway, I want to mix up a very orangey red. Well, I've got a dark red, and I've also got a yellow. So what I want to try, and of course I stir the paint up first. I always do this to start any kind of mix. I have a 1 ounce cup. I don't need a lot of this because I'm just going to paint a wheel stripe. But I want to have enough left over at the end of the job that if I ever need to touch this up, just to get a rough idea if 1-to-1 is going to be what I want. This is a good way to do it, by the way. And then I can kind of interpolate, if 1-to-1, do I want it more orange or more red? And I think that amount of paint, then I will just remix another one. But I want to see how this is going to look. And of course the trick is to bring it out to the garage when I'm done here and see if I'm close. Not really that close. This is why you need Karen. But anyway, now I'm not gonna fool with this right now, but because I don't want to go outside and put all my heavy duty nasty clothes on or anything. But what I'll do is I'll put this in the paint room, and I know if I mix 1-to-1, I'm coming up, and it's probably a little bit too much on the yellow side. You know what? I'm going to be cute about it. 2-to-1. Let's see if 2-to-1 is even closer. And if I have a little extra paint, it won't matter. But at least, you know, see, the thing I don't like to do, and I've done it before, is just go, and at the end of it, you have mud. Then I've made a lot of mud in my life. This looks a lot closer. So I'm going to start, and I'll get Karen's opinion. But she's not even going to be able to get out to the garage till I shovel it out later. But I wanted to look at that. Yeah, it's close. I'm not sure how close, but we're going to find out. Now, of course, what she'll do, because she's used to working with a palette of paint and mix, and she'll say, put a little white in there, put a little something else. But from this, and we do have white, I think we'll be able to get pretty close. So Karen made a good suggestion. I had some orange paint too, of course. She said, put a little orange in there. I put one. So what I actually have here is a concoction of all three, but I've got enough paint. Now this looks like it's on the orange side, but I'm going to go out to the garage later. I'm going to seal this jar up. This will be plenty of paint. And I don't want to mix any more. I just want to have enough for a spare wheel or two. Or a spare, who the hell knows if I chip it up or something. And so just having this to start with, and I'll have these three things back in the paint room. I think I'll be able to get this pretty close once I can get a thing out to the garage that Karen can look at it and say, oh, Wendy, you're very smart. You almost never says that. So I'm looking forward to it. And because we have so many different colors around here, I don't want to get this contaminated, but by the end of the day, I will have, I hope, at least have this in inventory. And now what I want to do is I want to clean out one of the spray guns, and when I actually do get this finalized, when I'm happy with the color as it looks here, what I want to do, I want to take it out and I'll paint a little light bulb with it. I can do that right even while it's snowing, just in the back room, just do a little spritz so I can hold it up to the gas tank, dried paint, because when it dries flatter and a different color. So, and then if I have to adjust it, of course the lovely Mrs. Artnowski is always available for help. And thank you ahead of time, Karen. We will get this, I hope, real close. Now, everybody knows I use only Harbor Freight, very inexpensive guns. I have one for pretty much every color I use. And I see we got one with red in it already. I'll clean that one out. And we have one for yellow, one for white, one for silver, one for black. And so over the years, I've made this way of doing things, and one for clear, of course. And the clear gun, you can see it says clear only. It looks like this is a sloppy situation, but it's not, because I clean the guns just before I use them. So I got this gun cleaned as much as possible. I loaded up some of our test paint, and I want to paint it. I think I had something here to paint. I need to find something to paint for a little test, so when it dries, number one, and then I can go out when I go out to the garage later. I'm not going out there right now. I only make a mess out of everything. And if Karen can come out and verify it, well, she doesn't have to verify it today, but she does have to verify it today, because maybe it'll stop snowing by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let's see, because this is a small part, I can just back up out of the doorway here and paint right there. That's what I usually do. And then 5 minutes later, Karen says, "It stinks like paint in here." And she's right. Boy, it's really coming down hard. We have no idea how much they're going to really snow, but look at the table out there. The table's got quite a bit on it. I know Karen's up there cooking. I can smell something good cooking. But anyway, the objective of this whole video is say, hey, we don't waste a day or sit around watching TV. We get something done even when it snows. Oh, at least I got my little test part painted, but it really is snowing. This may be a bigger storm than we thought. But we get things painted even when it snows. Amazing. And again, Dallas, thank you for that information. I was unaware that these were interchangeable, and I have 3 extra sets of discs, so if this doesn't polish up the way I want, I can always just go take another disc, and now that I know the front ones are interchangeable, a very handy little tip for GS owners. And I know Joe Padula probably didn't know that either. Yeah, as long as we're dealing with paint and doing a little show and tell here, we'll do a little unboxing of Joe's paint. Now, just to mention this, I have had paint mixed by many people, some with mixed results. Some were pretty good, some not so good at all. The best one I have was Dennis at Gavin's. Well, he did the FCR paint, and I know that yellow is a difficult thing to match. Wow. Okay, so here we have urethane reducer, and what Joe did is he bought the reducer that matches the paint, which is always a good thing. Okay, so you don't need anything else in there. This is what he needs for the Ducati fairing. And on a day like today, one of the things I try to do is get prepped up so the first day we can paint, I'm ready to paint. I'm hoping that's going to happen. Okay, so let's see if it has Ducati red. Okay, there you go. So, Joe, I have a lot of confidence that this is going to match. I don't want to even open a can until I'm ready to spray it, because I have that other red that's going to be, it's not a red, it's orange. It's going to be to match to the Suzuki we're going to try to do later today when we shovel snow, which I'm trying to postpone as long as possible. So while I'm downstairs mixing paint, I got the paint mixed so you're ready to come outside, but I know you don't want to go outside right now and match the paint to the details.
No chance.
No chance. Ah. Now you're probably wondering, why does Karen keep him so healthy? Oh my God. It even smells good. Whew.
Eggplant and Brussels sprouts.
Eggplant and Brussels sprouts. I'm going to live forever. Okra and spinach stew. Can you imagine how healthy I am? It's unbelievable. So the plan here is that we're going to basically abandon the work that we're doing right now. And, well, we got to go shovel something, or else I'm not going to be able to get out to the garage and match my stuff. But just look at this. What a mess. What a mess. So before I get bundled up and head out, nothing will be better than another cup of coffee. Holy mackerel. It's a coffee and eating vegetable day. Yeah, the way this is playing out, I'm going to get out there and try to get some snow, get some of this moved away, because there's still another foot or 2 feet coming. So the sooner I get started, the better. But I did get something done today, so. Oh, I can see the snowman laughing at us now. You should have moved to Florida when you had a chance. That's Ray the snowman, Ray Straub the snowman. As soon as we finish our coffee, it'll be head out to the frozen tundra. Oh, those birds just they love our seeds on this snowy day. So we just had the blue jay here helping himself to some seeds. So I'm headed out to the tundra to get just a rough idea if this is even a close match. Karen doesn't want any part of going outside today, and she's right. So step one is going to be to get a pathway to the garage. You can see, I guess a foot of snow, not a big deal, but got to get out there and see if that orange matches. So I can see before I even have Karen come out here, we're a little bit on the dark side. I would want that to be a little lighter. When I go back inside, I'll put some yellow in. Lighten it up a bit. We want that to match the wheel stripe. Now, because we have extra sets of rotors, I'm interested in seeing. These are the ones that, the original ones, and we have EBCs, and we have 2 sets of these that, well, I'll be interested in seeing. I'll contact Dallas and get a little more information if that's an easy retrofit. But the big thing today, we got to get the bolts. I'm going to measure these up for the bolts. In fact, I'll bring that downstairs and just we can hold them side by side. Interesting, and I know other people with GSs that might be interesting, good information. And pretty much everybody who has a GS I know really loves it. I don't know. Hard not to like them. Great bike. And while I'm out in the tundra here, I want to get as many of the batteries to go to green light as possible. And with these lithium-ion batteries, it usually takes in this below, freezing temperature about 2 minutes of battery. So while I'm doing all this maintenance out here and doing snow blowing, I probably can get half of them done without coming back out to the garage today. But my trusty snow blower, I know it's way over 20 years old. I think it's more like 24 years old. It is old, and it is as reliable as that GS1100. We just got to get it out from under the snow. Oh, I love it. Total reliability. How much fun is this? More fun than riding your MT-09. What fun. Well, you might be thinking, how much fun is it to live in New Jersey this time of year? This is why we pay the high taxes, because it's so much fun. Here's the funniest thing right now. It's snowing inside my garage. Every time I go over to do a battery charger or something, holy mackerel. But I did get all the bikes. They're all topped off. And they take about 2 minutes apiece in this weather. Whew. I'll be so glad to get in the house. Oh my God, this has been an unbelievable day. And we have... the next day is supposed to be exactly the same. Whew! So today we had like a day in reverse. We usually start off the day out in the garage and end up in the cellar. Today we started in the cellar, ended up in the garage. Karen's cooking, and we have a wonderful, wonderful neighborhood. My neighbors have done my sidewalk, now I've done theirs. I've helped the people across the street with their driveway. I always feel good that we live in a neighborhood like that everybody cooperates on days like this. I guess you have no choice here sometimes. Anyway, I want to thank the healthcare workers. I know you guys in this kind of snow are still going to work. Nobody's calling in sick. I know that's the real definition of heroes in my book. That is really good. And guys, thank you so much for keeping me healthy and alive and eating vegetables and riding motorcycles at 75. I don't know how you could not be happy with that. And shoveling snow. That's pretty cool. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, as I always say, thank you so much for coming over and helping me with the snowblower. And thanks for watching. Now, remembering snowy days and snowy rides, and believe me, there were some days Luciano and I went out. I remember one day we went with the late Larry DeTuri, and it snowed pretty bad up on the top of the mountain at Greenwood Lake, and I was just so happy to get home. And Karen knows exactly what to do. She hears the motorcycle coming in the driveway, puts on the coffee, extra strong. Anyway, but here is our Ninja that we restored last year, and a 500-hour restoration. Boy, as I look back at this, I look at it now, it's a totally different bike. But the ice wall isn't. This is called the ice wall in Perkins, and these are some of the other places that I used to ride with the. Oh my God, this is Cook's Pond right here. Wow. When I look back at these, I wonder, and when I restored this bike, I never knew how long I'd own this bike and how many good rides I'd have. We got way over 30,000 miles on it now. What a great restoration, how much fun that was, and I plan to have that bike for the rest of my life, I hope. Well, we're going to find out very soon how long that is. Maybe I don't really want to know. Anyway, the ice wall cometh. Karen's got some coffee on for me. This has been a really cold day. I was out there shoveling 3 times today in the course of the day. And as I'm done shoveling, believe me, if you don't live in this part of the country where you get these cold days, you don't know what a ride on a motorcycle on an icy, snowy day is. You're not missing a thing, believe me. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.